Did you know the history of St. John's? Well, let's rewind back to 1854 when the city was founded. A group of men with the names of John Sweigels, Porter Kibbe, B.C. Whitmore, H.S. Meade, and Robert Higham all decided to go in together to buy the land of St. John's. George Emmons also bought a lot of this land and was the village's first settler. Right away, they began plotting out the village. St. John's became officially established in 1856. To set the scene of this time, the land was almost fully covered in trees. It was a thick woods that was home to lots of animals such as bears, wolves, and other little critters. Numerous trees had to be chopped down when people began moving there. A great majority of the chopped up wood turned into houses and buildings that were seen everywhere around town. After being established through the county office in DeWitt, more progress was made. There were hardware and general stores, tin shops, a wagon maker, and a blacksmith. By the end of the year, there was also a shoemaker, grocer, jeweler, painter, an attorney, a newspaper, and more. The city's name was discussed with several options: Whitmoreville, Meadville, St. John's, Emmonsville, and Sweigelsville. It was decided that St. John's was the most appropriate option and was to honor John Sweigels. John Sweigels was a very significant man in the early history of St. John's. It didn't take long before he began building a sawmill and opening the first village general store. What really drew the first attention to the land, though, was when people heard there was to be a train depot constructed there. The Detroit-Milwaukee Railway was officially up and running by the year of 1857. In 1858, the St. John's Table Company was established and was also the largest table manufacturing company in the world in its time. By the year of 1860, the population was 1,000 people. The Payne Gillum Scott House, built in 1860, was the first house made of brick in St. John's. In 1863, Robert M. Steele was listed as the president of St. John's and the St. John's Manufacturing Company. John Hicks was another well-known man. He was a businessman in DeWitt who came over to St. John's for new opportunities. In the year of 1885, a popular local group was organized, the St. John's Bicycle Band. It was just what it sounds like, a band who played their instruments on bikes. But these were not just any ordinary bikes, they were high-wheeled bicycles. The band was around for about 6 years. In 1888, the Steele Hotel opened on Main Street, built by Robert M. Steele. It had very advanced appliances for its time. There was an innovative electric bell system for communication to the main office, steam heating in all of the rooms, and an electric lighting system. To give guests the finest experience, there were also reading rooms, a barber shop, a dining hall, and more. In 1894, Clinton Avenue was thriving with 59 businesses open on the first 3 blocks. 1895 marked one of the first big fires in St. John's. The fire caused a large chunk of destruction on the St. John's Manufacturing Company. In total, there was over an $100,000 loss. By the year of 1900, the population was 3,388 people. St. John's elected a mayor, treasurer, and more officials after becoming a fourth-class city. In the year of 1920, there was a devastating tornado that demolished the railroad depot. Despite all of the destruction, there was a promised rebuild of a new depot. Another disaster struck on Thanksgiving Day of 1924. The St. John's Portable Building Company plant burnt to the ground in another large fire. Within the next decade, the Great Depression began. However, St. John's was not largely affected by it due to the fact that they did not rely on big industry. The city actually made a lot of money through the production of mint. St. John's had some marshy areas with the right soil which were perfect for growing mint. By 1938, the population grew to be over 4,400 people. World War II brought more young families into the city. This called for more schools and more jobs. Some of the local newspapers, like the Clinton County Republican News, covered updates on the draft and war involvement following the Pearl Harbor attack. Looking into the 1950s, St. John's earned the nickname The Hub because M21 and US 27 intersected in the city and were both growing very popular. In 1960, the population was 5,629 people. 1966 is when the community received word on Clinton County soldiers being killed in action during the Vietnam War. A total of 16 soldiers from the area died in service of their country. In the next several years, there were a lot of building changes on Clinton Avenue. There was also a record snowstorm of 24 inches that hit the city. In 1975, the Steele Hotel burned to the ground. Fortunately, the civilians staying there were able to evacuate before the flames reached the upper levels. In the same year, McDonald's opened on US 27. In 1979, the Payne Gillum Scott Museum opened with the help of co-directors John and Catherine Rumbaugh, along with local volunteers from the Clinton County Historical Society. More city development came in the next few years. The police department moved into a new building, the South Point Mall was scheduled to be completed, and the St. Johns City Commission approved a local cable access channel. In the late 1980s, the population was estimated to be 7,900 people. Many new shops also opened as the city continued to progress. In 1999, the construction began for the new and improved Clinton County Courthouse. It was completed in the year of 2000. Up until present day, the rest is history. To learn more about the city, please visit the Clinton County Historical Museum located on 106 Maple Street, St. Johns, Michigan, right next to the courthouse. Open Sundays from 1 to 4 and Wednesdays from 2 to 5.